Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome back to my Astrology 101 series. In today's session, we're diving back into those zodiac signs with part 2. Now, if you haven't seen my first 2 Astrology 101 sessions, I would highly recommend that you pause the video and go back. The first session was an introduction to your astrological birth charts and your 3 primary zodiac signs. The second, of course, was the zodiac signs part 1. This session will build off of those 2 original sessions. I have put links below to both those videos and cards up so you can easily go back and catch up. My sessions are not long. I would rather do smaller bite-sized pieces because there's a lot of information I throw at you guys. All right, so let's dive back into these zodiac signs. We've only done 2 of the zodiac in our last session. We're going to be diving back into these. And you're going to see again how they interrelate to each other as an element and then also to those qualities. We're going to start off with Gemini. Now, when you're looking at the stars, you can see Gemini. I won't lie, it makes sense. Some of them, like I said in the last session, lots of artistic wiggle room. When you're looking at Gemini, of course, it's the twins. In recent times, opposed to the male twins, you are getting a lot of female twins. Does it matter? Not really. It's the lore behind it. This, of course, is the symbol for Gemini. Kind of easy because, again, it's a stylized Roman numeral number 2. Here in the graphic, again, you can see how the twins were connected in. And the original twins, of course, Castor and Pollux. The ruling planet, Mercury. For the sun sign, you are looking at May 21st to June 21st. The twins themselves, Castor and Pollux, do have a fantastic mythology. And like I said in the last session, it's a great idea to check in and understand the mythology behind the zodiac. They're fascinating stories. As I'm that tarot girl at heart, of course, the major arcana connected into this, the Lovers. Colors, yellow. Again, the crystals, sodalite, citrine, and howlite. Suggestions, not musts. Use the ones that make sense to you. Now, like I said in the last session, high vibrational attributes to each zodiac can be considered by some people as low vibrational because it's sometimes too much of a good thing can be really overwhelming. So it is very individual. However, as a society, these are considered the high vibrational aspects. Of course, because it is an air sign, you do have that inquisical communication, the knowledge piece. You have, of course, here the charming, cheerful, fun, free-spirited energy. And to add in, because yes, we talked about the air aspect, the versatility of Gemini brings in the mutable aspect, that chameleon aspect of the sign. Low vibrational. Moody, gossipy, unfocused, flaky. Again, none of these attributes are going to sum you up as a whole because you're not just Gemini. When we go into the low vibes, people kind of get defensive because they don't want to be associated with those lower aspects. However, just like us, we do have those lighter and darker aspects. On to Cancer. Of course, symbol of the crab. Kind of another wishbone, half a person's image in the stars, and that famous 69 as its symbol on most astrological birth charts. This is how the weird wishbone symbol comes in and creates the crab. Yes, there's a lot of artistic flexibility here. The planetary rule is the moon. Your sun sign, you're looking at a birthday between June 22nd to July 22nd. This is the cardinal aspect for water, and you're looking at the summer coming in on Cancer. It does, of course, represent a crab. We can see that. The mythology, it's behind the Hercules labors. There's a number of them that are connected into his labors because the mythology is Greek mythology. Major arcana, the Chariot. Colors, white and yellow. Not surprising, moonstone. Planetary is the moon. Sometimes the crystals are very, you can see why. Aquamarine, again, Cancer. Rhodonite, that's more the emotional piece. Those high vibrational aspects, sensitive, intuitive, maternal, these speak on the water. We do have the expressive and the seeking, like the security seeking, as part of that cardinal piece because they are the trendsetters. They like to make sure that they are the leaders. But you do get that kind of diverse because you never get the same two. You will never have the same two elements in one of the qualities. They're all broken up. So it does add the diversity. Low vibration, again, the oversensitive, the moody piece, the emotional roller coaster is the water. Holding the grudge, the defensive, we're getting more into the cardinal aspect. And guys, I should say this, I think I've said it before, you do not necessarily have all 12 of them. If you look on your birth chart, it's a great idea to write down the ones that are important, the ones that appear, and they're listed at the bottom. So it's not like you're going to have to go through that weird circle piece and find it. You're going to be able to, you're going to see the zodiac that are predominant, just like you see here, and you can go in and find out the ones that are important. Going into Leo, back to the fire. This one you can kind of see. He's a lion. We know Leo the lion. We can kind of see the lion-ish, the body and the head. This symbol, honestly, it looks like a girl with a ponytail. The mane or the tail of the lion. And again, not surprising, we can see it. The lion is right there. Sun sign, July 23rd to August 22nd. Planetary rule, the sun. We know it represents a lion. Again, we're going back to Hercules' labors with this one. Strength is the major arcana. And just like Gryffindor, we've got red, gold, and yellow. Again, we have sunstone going in with the sun, carnelian and citrine as the crystals that are commonly associated with Leo. High vibration. Again, we have that very bold, go-getting energy of the fire. We have the proud, the noble, the regal, kind of those fixed energy because Leo is a fixed sign. Again, it does bring in some generous aspects, the majesty of the lion. Some of these will fit for you, some of them won't. It's going to depend on where Leo is in your birth chart. Low vibration, overly dramatic, melodramatic, selfish, unreasonable, demanding. Virgo. And you're starting to see the pattern here. Yes, the signs go fire, earth, air, water. Rinse and repeat. Virgo, the maiden. Yeah, kind of. There is some artistic liberties here. And we do have the M, maiden. You do have to be careful because Virgo's not the only one with an M symbol. This one kind of has, to me, it reminds me of like a girl's hair or a woman's hair over the shoulder. That's how I always remember. I could not find a cute little graphic, so I have overlaid the maiden, Virgo, with where the symbol of the stars are. So that's how she kind of comes in. Now, going back, when I was talking about Gemini, I did explain that it is ruled by Mercury, and that yes, when it goes into Mercury in retrograde, well, Castor and Pollux, they don't do well with it. The same is said across the board on the air signs because knowledge and communication are so important. Additionally, so is Virgo, as Virgo is too ruled by Mercury. Well, this represents, because a lot of people call it the maiden, it's actually the harvest goddess. And which goddess, it really depends on which one you want to pick, because it has been associated with so many different goddesses, depending on the culture and the faith. Major Arcana, the Hermit. Here we're seeing some grays, browns, and greens, which is not uncommon in the earthy elements. Crystals, carnelian, green aventurine, and amazonite. High vibration. Again, those earthy ones, orderly, practical, the stability. Because we do have Mercury coming in, we do have the intellectual piece, the logical piece. There are some other aspects that come in. We have creativity added in to Virgo, but you start to see some of the pieces like humble coming in. Going on to the low vibration, tightly wound, cold, never satisfied, critical. And because we have the Mercury aspect, we do get the critical piece. Going back into the intellectual aspects with Libra, the scale. If you turn your head sideways, you can see the scale. This kind of has that alpha omega type symbol. Honestly, I just think of the scales. And again, I couldn't find a cute graphic for this, so I showed you where it was. Like I said, you tilt your head sideways and you can see it. Sun sign, September 23rd to October 23rd. Of course, we're bringing in the fall aspect with Libra. Ruler, Venus. We know it represents the scales. What many people may not know is that the mythology behind Libra is associated to the goddess Asteria. She is the goddess associated with balance. Major Arcana, not surprising to see justice. Here we have brown, pink, and blue. The crystals, we're looking at peridot, lapis lazuli, and tourmaline. Does it have to be black? No. However, black tourmaline is one of the easier ones to find. If you happen to find the other colors, fantastic. High vibration, of course, we're looking air, the intellectual, the life learners, those type of things, the communication. Because we also have the cardinal aspect, we do have somewhat of a free spirit. They're the trendsetters, if you will. And because we also have Venus involved, we do get some versatility and adaptability and the charming aspects. So again, not only does it matter what element it is, what quality it is, we're also looking at the planets involved. Low vibration, indecisive, superficial, vain, seeking approval. Again, because we have Venus involved, we do get a little bit of a passive-aggressive piece. We get the vain aspect. Now, because we are looking at the scales, we're looking at balance, peace is very important. The harmony is very important. And there can be a little bit of a hyperfixation and focus on peace. So the peace at all costs can be very much of a challenge for people who have Libra in, well, depending on where it lands in your birth chart and how it impacts you. So that concludes this section of the zodiacs that we're going to explore today. I threw a lot of information at you. I know I did. That's why I keep these more bite-sized pieces so that it doesn't totally decide to break your brain. And like I have said in my past videos, my Patreon supporters do get cheat sheets with all this information. And I do have a link below. If you're looking for a supportive community, you can come check it out. Now, we have explored 7 of the 12 zodiac. In our next session, we are going to finish off the last 5, exploring them and their traits. I hope that you did enjoy this session and that you have a better understanding of more of the zodiac and more of what builds you up. Let me know, which of these 5 zodiac really impact you? And guys, if you haven't done so, please don't forget to hit the bell, hit the buttons, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. It helps people find the information they need, and it helps encourage me to make more. Again, I want to thank you for joining me today and continuing our exploration throughout the zodiac signs. I hope that you did enjoy this session, and I look forward to finishing off this exploration into the zodiac with you. Until tomorrow, my friends.